to do this from my basement today. One of my friends that had been out camping with me and saw my setup and some of the battery banks and solar panels that I had at that time asked me recently where my YouTube channel was, because I was aware, I have one, and I had a sign, up there in front of the tent with the website and stuff like that. And I have more now since then. I mean, not a ton more or anything, but a little bit more. At that time, I had two of the Jackery battery banks. They were the 240s. This is the 300, and I'm going to show you some of the solar panels I have too. I have a new one from Jackery, and I'm going to show that one and show this other one I have. The Jackery performs very well, and even on the 240, I plugged a stick vacuum into it, and it could run for a long time. I don't remember how long or the numbers, how much of a percentage on the battery took, things like that. But I was using it on houses that I work on, because I do painting, drywall, things like that. And I work in homes that people are living in. I no longer do production work, finishing new homes where nobody's there. So when I'm done, I have to clean up. And instead of spending like $400 or $500 on a vacuum with a battery, I have the Jackery anyway. Take that with me, plug a stick vacuum in it, and vacuum up, and I'm good. And it lasts a good while. The 240s, I haven't tested this fully. This one I bought out of curiosity. The time I got it was a little bit cheaper. I'm not going to mention prices here because that can fluctuate depending on where and when you buy what you want. I will say with this one, I have my tent set up in the back. You'll see that pretty previous video. And I put the double thick queen size air mattress in there, and it has sprung a leak, but I took this one out there to pump it up, and I pumped it up and got it pumped up, and I went back to pump a little more air in it. This was completely dead, I'll say that. It's got two plugs. This is supposed to be a 300 watt, and this is a 300 watt Jackery, but the 240 Jackery, which I believe is a 240 watt in that area. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that lines up with that. Outperformed this one, so I will have to say that. Now I would say, let me turn that off. I had this on the charger for quite a while, and I mean over a day, and I'm down one bar. I don't know why. So this may be good if you just want to charge light things, cell phones, things like that, and keep an extra in reserve. The Jackery will run a long time, and the 300 I did get compliments from Jackery, which was very nice of them. It was a customer service concern, and they said, we want to take care of you, and my concerns were legitimate. I'm not here to bash people. And I put the review where they can see it. I don't go online just bashing all over. I do a fair review, and Jackery contacted me, and they took care of my concerns. And what I did was I updated that review. And so I want you to know they are excellent in customer care. And they have a lot of different things that I use. I'll get into some of this other stuff in a moment. One of the nicest things I've found, I think I got about 7 of these. These are USB lights. They're LEDs, and you can plug these into any USB power source. And I'm going to plug this right into here. And I used these last year when we were camping for Sukkot. If you go to the website at camperhollow.com, I have an article there about Sukkot. It'll explain that for those of you who are not familiar with it. So I'm going to click that on. It has a button right there. I plug this into the wall outlet. One of the nice things about these is that you can charge them off solar panels. I'll show you that after a bit. You can charge them off plugging it into your, socket at home, 110 volt, and they'll charge on your car battery. In fact, I keep the Jackery 240 in my pickup truck because I run dash cams, things like that, and that gives me extra USB ports to run those things. And being that it has a 12 volt plug-in, I don't have to keep the 12 volt plug-in tied up all the time because I keep a CV in a handheld CV, but I recharge it right in the truck. So what I'll do is I'll plug that into here, and then as this goes down, I only have to plug into the truck when I need to, and it charges right in the truck. So that's nice. So, but getting back to the light, there is a switch somewhere down here, and you just click that on, and there's your light. And they throw a good bit of light, and they come in a box like this. You can find these on Amazon. I'm not making money on this, and it's all night. These are very handy. You may find another brand, I don't know. I do have lists for the things I bought. I can share some of this below the video and put links there. And I do have, I'm going to show you this one first, actually. The Jackery solar panels. See how I can do this best here. Set it right up here. Now this one and the other solar panel I have, they have pockets. And this has your cord for plugging into the Jackery right here to recharge it. And this has one USB-A and one USB-C USB port. So that's what it has there. It has a little light there for LED. I haven't explored how that works yet or anything like that. So that will charge this. It's made for that exclusively. And this is just opens up. I'm going to show you these flaps in the back. Open, Velcro. So you can stand these up, like this one, and then you unfold it. I don't have a lot of room here. It's very hot outside this time here where I live, so that's why I'm doing this in here. But it just pulls apart like this, and it's got a good amount of voltage to it. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I was unplugging it from the battery bank one day, and I got a good zap off it because I had my finger too close. So that's the Jackery. And the other one I have is the rock pails. And the Jackery did cost me a good bit more. I will say that much. But it is good. The rock pails, okay, just push that, push that. I get used to squeezing things, but these you push and you start going like this out of habit, because a lot of them, you squeeze, but these push. And so I'm going to show you the back compartment first. Now this is really nice. I want to tell you why. Because this one will charge different types of battery banks. And well, let me unzip this more. No, that's all that goes. Okay, so I'm going to have to flip this up. In here, this has 3 USB ports. What did I just drop? Oh well, it didn't break. And one of the nice things I like about this, if that doesn't fit your battery bank, let's see if I can find them here. they have adapters that come with it, and they do give you a book. That one had fallen off, but there's different size adapters. Now I did try to charge this battery bank with this solar panel, and it didn't seem to be working. And so what I did was, when I was out camping, you can charge this same way as you do these. So charge off 110 volt, 12 volt, and if you have the right solar panel. This didn't seem to be charging off this solar panel, even though it seemed like I had the right size plug for it. But it did charge the Jackery. But what I did with this was, so I tried, why not plug this into the 12 volt plug into the Jackery? Wouldn't charge. The electronics won't allow it. What I did was I took the regular cord for 110 volt, plugged it into the Jackery, and this charged. So inadvertently, you can charge this off solar panels. Keep your Jackery charged. You can charge this off the Jackery, and you could keep the solar panel hooked up to it so it continues to supply power. Now it's still, you got to watch your meter here to watch your input watts and your output watts. Now if your output watts are more than your input, obviously the battery's going to go down some, but connecting the solar panel to it will help keep it up as much as you can. Okay, I had to open that anyway. Let you see it. A little clumsy here. And but that just, it doesn't have things in the back to open up. You just kind of bend it like this and set it on the ground. And this is the one I used camping at Sukkot, and it worked very well. And one of the things I did to get the most sun, depending on the position it was in the sky, I laid this right on top of the tent, on the edge, of course, where it had strength above the canopy tent. Now if I'll remember to lock these in before I pick it up, it won't come apart. But that is a nice solar panel. And Jackery is excellent also in their solar panel, I'll say. Let me pick these things up. And they drop. I'm going to stick with battery banks right now. And I got some other things here that are handy off-grid, and I'll explain those to you. I got some things I'll tell you about. I've got two of these. And these have two USB ports for outbound that you can charge your devices off. One on each side, and one in the middle is for inbound, so you can recharge this if you wanted to do it that way. The nice thing about these is they also come with their own solar panel. And I found these on Amazon as well. I forget how many amp hours these have, but they're pretty high. You don't want to get ones with low amp hours. They won't last long. And one of the nice things about this too is these have lights on them. There's a switch right there you just push. Now you'll see on the side you have indicators, and you'll see them now when they all light up. The battery bank is fully charged, and if you plug it in to charge, or you open the solar panel to charge and it's a little low, they'll flash. They'll flash down to the point where it's charged up to. So when all your little lights are on the side light up, you're fully charged. This is really handy. Also, it has a light. You got it. There we go. I haven't used it in a while. Alright, push and hold. And then now you can, 2 times you get a strobe, and 2 times you turn it off. And that's as simple as that. Even for dummies like me. And that is really nice. Now these, when you look at these, they look like lights, and they are, but they're also battery banks. Now I got a couple of these are hyper tough. Now there is a screw set in the top, so this must, I'm trying to remember which one I had. No, this is hyper tough. This is brawn. This has a little more functionality. That's the difference. Not a lot of difference. These two are the same thing, just different colors on the outside here. And as you see, they have a little handle you can close. There's magnets on these, which I like, and you can put them on something metal and they'll stay there. I've used them here like this, extra light, turn them on right there, and they give a pretty bright light. And they have a strobe light, regular light, like that, and they're pretty bright. I think these were 1200 watts, I think, or 1000 or 1200. These, I think they all are pretty much the same thing. So they're pretty bright. They're, they're brighter than, like these. These are pretty bright too. These have two lights, and they're pretty bright. I have rechargeable batteries, by the way. These are not a battery bank that you can charge other things off. These are just for light. And I have maybe 5 of these or something. And they come in handy. You can throw them in your pocket. Need a little extra light outside. And so these have the magnets. The handle closes. You can bring it out so you can set it places. You can pull it all the way up so you can carry it like that. All these work the same way. And now the brawn, where to get them? Okay, I got the hyper tough at Walmart, and the brawn at, I buy so much stuff, Harbor Freight. And this would cost more, but it has, I don't know if it has a bigger battery or not. I can't say. These are pretty bright too. I think they'll work the same way as the other one. You have your LED and it'll flash. This one has a flash and the strobe. Okay, so there's an extra light function on it. These did cost more, but if you want the added functionality, it's nice. And also because these are chargers also. These are battery banks, small battery banks. Granted, they're not